Hey, Jake Mullins here. Today I'm going to talk about margin noting and being an active reader. Now, when you're reading for fun, you're on vacation, you're on the beach, you're probably not thinking about marking up your book. At least, I hope not. You're just enjoying, you're taking it in. That's reading for fun. Sometimes, though, when reading for school, for academic purposes, it really helps to be an active reader. You want to be marking up your book, you want to be margin noting. It helps for essays. It helps you become a better writer. It helps you to have passages to cite in class. It helps on reading quizzes. You may be wondering, why am I talking about reading in a book on writing or on a series on writing? The answer is, by becoming a better reader, you actually also become a better writer. You start to notice the type of techniques the writers are using, their art form, how they form sentences, where they use semicolons or colons, the word choice, and you actually start to use that stuff on your own writing. When we talk about margin noting, you want to think about doing the following. First of all, sometimes less is more. You don't want to do big blocks of highlight, like a whole page. You probably want to use a pen or pencil. You want to underline important passages, circle keywords or phrases that come up a lot. You could write questions in the margin. Maybe at the end of a chapter, bullet point the 5 main takeaway points, like a summary. The less you do sometimes, the better, because then when you go back to the book, you know exactly what's important, and you don't just have big blocks. You want to think about, you could even use different colors. You could, if you're a visual learner, you could do images. Whatever helps you. You want to think about, what themes did the teacher mention about the book? What kinds of conversations or discussions or activities have you had in class? And those will guide your margin notes. Oftentimes, it really helps to ask the teacher, what should I be margin noting for? What theme should I be looking for? Ask your friend, what did you mark? There's not going to be any 2 books that are going to be the same. That's fine. Your own margin notes will be unique. But you do want to find out, what do I look for? There's no one way to margin note. It's varied, it's dynamic, it's different. It's one of those things that the more you practice, the better you'll become. When you first start reading, you might say, I have no idea, what am I marking for? And then the better reader you become, all of a sudden, certain passages just mark out at you. That jumps out at you. I'm going to mark that. I bet that's an important quote. Or that idea I want to highlight. Or, oh, that leads to a really good connection from another book, and I'll jot a note down. Or in the margin, I'll write a question that either confused me or I thought would make for a really good class discussion. So it's just one of those skills that as you practice, the better you get. Also, pay attention in class. What passages is the teacher talking about? What passages did your friends mark? And mark those if you didn't. I'll tell you, it'll be a lot easier as you get older and you read longer books and you have to go back and write a whole essay. It's a lot easier to find great quotes. You can really distill golden nuggets of text. You can really grapple with key phrases. You really start to pick apart word choice. It's really hard if you have a blank book to go back and write a great essay. Also, studies have shown if you're active and you're margin noting as you read, you actually remember more as you read. Because we tend to daydream. If I'm just reading a book in bed, my mind will go everywhere. But if I'm actually keeping focus by marking the book, underlining, it actually keeps your brain sharp. So think about that as a skill. Think about it actually as a way to help your writing too. Because the better reader you become, the better writer you'll become. So I hope this was hopeful and helpful, and please mark up your books.